Hello, welcome. Oh, no, that I need to. There we go. Almost you heard me twice. So, let's rechat. Alright, so I said going to be a couple of minutes late, but I'm on my way. Alright, cheers for letting us know. No. Either. Because if he accidentally, Kangafango accidentally typed now instead of no, then he corrected no, and then no now, and I said now no, and then you, hello, twice, hey, haha, hoo hoo. Right, hello Kangafango, welcome. So let's see. Need to switch this. I know it can just go like this and around the edge. That would have been faster. Also, welcome to Service Pack 2. Yes, I can't update yet. Well, no, I can update. I have updated. And that was the issue. Because Service Pack 3 only runs on Mac with Big Sur. I don't have Big Sur installed. I can't update at the moment. However, the newsletter didn't make that specific point that it needed Big Sur to run clear enough. The way I read it was, okay, your computer needs to be able to run Metal, which also means that it can run Big Sur. So, as in, okay, if you can run Big Sur, then you can run this thing. But what it was meant to be was, okay, you need to be able to run Metal and Big Sur. You have to run Big Sur. That point wasn't clear, at least from what I saw. So I installed it, because there was a multiplayer session scheduled for today. And yesterday, Service Pack 3 came out, installed it, didn't work. I had to download the 10.5 gigabyte Trainz DMG again, which took a long time, only to reinstall Service Pack 2, which means that the multiplayer session is not on. However, I believe Slovak Eagle is hosting a multiplayer session right now under, well, also Scar Hill's Subdivision to the 2019. So if you want to play that, then you can join that game, if he is running. I think he's running it. Well, he said he's going to run it, so there you go. Right. Thanks for the welcomage. Hello. Oh, hello, Vija. Strange. I didn't recognize you because you didn't type hello as you usually do. Yes, I've noticed. Hey, Vija, how are you? Teaching English people how to pronounce Dimitrescu. Dimitrescu. Is it Dimitrescu? Is that how you pronounce that word? Well, that's a good way to be. Sure, sounds like a lot of trouble and hassle. Sorry to hear all that. Oh, well, yeah. Go ahead then. Dimitrescu? Oh, maybe Dimitrescu. You pronounced it more or less correctly. Probably less. Me? Or Paradise? Well, you didn't pronounce it, you just... People say the U at the... is silent. Dimitrescu. But it's an accent U. Oh, so Dimitrescu. Dimitrescu? I have no idea. Although it is interesting. I do like words. Well, yeah, I do like words. It's just sometimes their meaning is disturbing. But if the meaning is disturbing of the word, then the thing the word describes is the actual thing that is disturbing, which means that the word itself is good. Dimitrescu, cashew. And what does it mean? I think Abastru 916 might have once told me. It's a surname. Oh, right. Okay, so I'm just doing a little bit of work on this edge, and just putting a little bit of grass along here, just so that when I work on the station, it will look a little bit more, it'll be a bit easier to imagine what it will look like when it's finished, this bit along here. Also, you may or may not have noticed a thing, which is I've turned shadows back up to low, because with low it doesn't lag that much more. It's still very, very smooth, and it just adds a bit, of course. But not all things have shadows. For example, this does not have a shadow, but this does. You can see how much that adds. But then again, these things don't yet. So I would have to turn the quality up more for that. Right. More specifically, the surname of the big vampire lady from RE8. Alkina Dimitrikou. Oh, I see. I just watched the Environment Showcase. Oh. Did you learn any new hints about it being Romanian? Set in Romania? Oh, nice. No, I did not notice. Yes, it is nice. Oh, what did they show off? It looks authentically Romanian. Ah, good. Oh, right, Resident Evil 8, of course. Nice. Dimitrescu. My effing keyboard has issues. Yes, from day one. Good. Good. So, okay. I want to work on the station. But luckily, when I downgraded to Service Pack 2 from Service Pack 3, it remembered all of the settings and everything, so it just was the big download, but then I let run, and now everything's fine again, so that's a good thing. Right. Actually, maybe I can get an invisible station that has the people spread out a bit more. I think I've used... I have used invisible stations that have longer platforms. Just not sure what they were called. No, it wasn't these ones. Maybe they were German. No. I can do that later. I can do it later. Okay, so... Oh, I didn't do that, or I undid it. Maybe I undid it. Nope, not that texture. Okay. I want an underpass. Maybe this one? Maybe. Nope, not Farmer's Underpass. No. Right. Oops, no, not delete. It would be nice if you could snap the rotation by holding down a specific button. Right, now I'm going to use a ruler to measure to there, which I think is the center point, like where the middle door is. That's 172 feet, so let's extend this to 172 feet. There we go. And then let's add underpasses here. Okay. These ones have kind of the box on the side I'm not too keen on. Also, of course, they're too tall, need to be like that. Maybe I'll have a look on the DLS for underpass. Maybe I'll find something better there. You can rotate more gently if you hold control while you do it. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'll look for that on the DLS and I'll turn shadows up to medium because I want the more buildings to have shadows here. So when I add a canopy, it will look a bit more like it will look for you when you play it, if you decide to play it. Right. Let me look first. Oh, there are a lot of underpasses. Let's change it to manage content as thumbnails. This does not look like a farmer's underpass to me. Ah, these ones maybe. Oh, so they're the different variations, I'm guessing. Okay, so let's see what are. I'll download these ones. Shouldn't take that long considering I've got a first class ticket installed. It actually took less time than it took to say that sentence, which is nice. Okay, now I'll relaunch Trainz. Well, yeah, start it back up again, and then I'll read the thing called chat. Good thing the mods are still installed. Yes, but I did export the routes I'm working on as CDP bundles so that if anything does happen, if anything does go wrong in the upgrade, or as it turns out, downgrade again, I could easily reinstall them just by dragging the CDP file into the content manager. The only thing that's a bit annoying about that is if you select more than one asset to export as a CDP file, you can't paste anything into the name field thing. Oh, I need to turn the shadows up a bit more still. Yeah, so you could always, each time you have to type the entire name out. You also can't click on a file that you've already got the old version to then get that file's name. It just doesn't work. You do have to type it out each time. But if you've got only one file you're exporting, then it automatically picks the name of the file, and you can also paste it in, do all the stuff you need. Just if it's like multiple files, then in the content manager, then it doesn't work. Stream title, no big sir, equals no multiplayer. So Milton Valley Railroad again, yes. Right. Let's see what this looks like. Yes, it was deliberate, it was a joke. Right, first was the first trailer, carpets, pillows, buildings. Then the second trailer showcasing the in-game currency as Ron. Then the third, RON. Then the third trailer and maiden demo revealing big vampire lady's name being Alkina Dimitrescu, maybe? Dimitrescu. And now the environment showcase finally confirming the game happens in Romania. And you said it all along. Here is the link to it. Yep, can't watch that at the moment. Thanks for posting it. It'll look a bit more canopious. Vito, thanks for linking it. First class ticket. Clap. Yeah, clap. I'm currently continuing A and Amelia's story. Ah, I see. I've been posted cover in intro misc. Shadice. Well, then you can just export it as the default archive.cp, I think, and then paste the title in afterwards. Yes, that is true. That is true. I could do that. But I knew it since the first trailer, but I waited for more proof. Having enough proof to prove your theory is good. There also should be enough proof to not... There should also be enough proof that proves that it's not disprovable, proving that it's right. Which in this case, I mean, it's... well, I guess both, maybe. Right. Link's got quite a lot of guns in it, so beware. Don't turn your back on it. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine if it's Resident Evil... Let's see what we've got today. Also, what's the performance like over here now with the trees? Well, it's fine. Plus, I'm streaming. Yeah, it's actually fine. If you imagine driving along like this, this is even way too fast. But just driving along here, it should be fine. Now this also has shadows again. Shadows do add a lot, don't they? Well, technically they subtract, because shadows are the absence of light. So technically shadows by definition don't add anything. But, well. Oh, these are this bit. Oh, I see. Maybe these aren't that useful for this then. However, oh, maybe these ones. Maybe a bit too modern, not sure. No, the things with these ones, they're apparently supposed to have... Because you can actually see it going underneath, you're supposed to have a dent into the terrain there, which I don't really want to do, because then I need to separate the platforms as well. Which I could do, but... I think these are more for use with the actual platforms kit, because these are part of that kit. Okay, well, then we'll continue to use these ones for now. These ones look more 50s, 60s anyway, I think. Okay, so what to do next? Well, we need to continue this line over here. So maybe we'll do that. All the proof seen in incontestable proof. Seen is incontestable proof. Good. Good. Actually, haha. There is about 2.5 weeks till release. We'll see then. Yeah, I mean, I believe you. I was talking more generally. Look what this looks like with shadows. Not sure if the terrain itself has shadows, though. Ah, we can see that this little gravel pile is floating a bit, because it's got a shadow. Haha. This will also look really nice in the evening time, probably, or morning. Anyway, I mean, that's technically the truth. You see, ha. You mean because of the evening time thing? Can OP. Because of the gravel pile. Oh, the gravel pile. Oh, I see. Actually, I want to move the the splines and the objects probably as well to the temp lock layer, so I can put the canopy on in peace without accidentally moving the platform. Okay, so yeah, and we do still have this little board there, which could be very useful. Although that's a specifically PRR one, not sure. Might actually go for some bigger ones. This, yeah, this definitely looks like an American canopy. Like, yeah, no. Yep, that's the same one. No, too big. Too big, too small. I'm not Oh, look at that. So many different parts for these canopies. Ooh. No, this one's not. Although, I suppose this one might pass as American. Maybe? Maybe. I have the right to use one. No, not down there. I thought I'd gotten the height. I mean, the ending, of course, would need a bit of work, but I think this might pass as... I'll leave it here for now. It's not really perfect, but it might be a best one we'll get. Maybe. Industrial canopy. No. What does this one look like? Nah. This one maybe. This one looks a bit more Yeah, that one looks better, I think. Well, more applicable. No columns. We need columns, definitely. Okay, so I'm thinking it's probably this one. This one's the one we're going to use. Especially, I'm not sure if this one's already at the correct height. No. I'll raise it up so it's at this height, although that's might be too tall. Actually, now I don't think, but I think... Was this one? No, it wasn't this one. I don't want the entire platform to have a canopy. I want it to be let's see. Let's put it roughly like that. We may need to center these ones as well. Now the question is, what would this look like? Not that. What would this look like over here? Let's extend this a bit more. And this is the first time you've seen me construct a station on stream. The only other station I've made, well, that I've used, is the one at Nathasir. Which is, oh, you can definitely see the lag here. This, again, I have no idea why. It's been tested on other machines, and there it's fine. It's just my machine. Just my machine. Also, shadows don't help for me. But anyway, this is the only other station I've got, like the proper station. I've got this one, and then I've got Knagno Halt. Knagno Halt. There we go. This one. Knagno Halt. But this is the first time you've seen me make a station that's name. Alright, name. That's proper, basically. That's got more than just one object. So now, should this intersect like that? It probably should. Maybe if I move this a little bit further in so that it properly intersects. Yeah, that way it's kind of almost connected up like that. Bit more. Like that, maybe? Doesn't look great on the transition bit here. What if I instead moved it back? Yeah, that's probably better. Well, I'm not sure that I like how obstructed it is. But you definitely have a canopy here if you're going onto the platform like that. Well, if you have canopies, you're gonna have a canopy here. And maybe they just added the canopy later. What do you think? What do you think? Right, because the ground pit LSWR/SR/BR platform canopy spline. Wait, what? Eh? Tell us the city's name, please. Do tell. I'm not sure what the name is yet. Well, he said, yes, I will. Oh, thanks. What is it? Not sure what you mean. Kango Fnago. Named after Count Knago Fnago II? Probably. Pretty old building. Do you mean the building or the asset? Yes, very nice. It's from like UTC or something. Oh, you mean it's an old asset? Yeah, it is. But I think it's a good asset. Depends on how you make the environment around. Like if you use it just as is, then yeah, if you get close, you can see that it's not that high resolution. But if you imagine, well, okay, to make it fair, let's go on this side, so we'll be close to it. If you imagine taking a train in here, sort of like this, then coming on along like that, you're not really going to notice that much, especially if there is other stuff around. But if you've got a better asset, then I'm willing to see if maybe a different asset works better. If you'd like to suggest one, go right ahead. And yeah, this is not set in stone. If I do find better stuff, then, well, I'll use the better stuff. I couldn't say. Maybe. Sure is. Quite impressive structure. Let's leave it for now. It still holds up, I would say. Yeah, me too. Right. So, next things next, as it probably should be, which is to put the platform objects on the temp block layer. Right, and then I want to look for station signs. I know I've got the PRR one back there, but it's so tiny that if you're just going along with the train, you probably won't even be able to read it. Hey, this one would fit. Don't you think this sign would fit for this station? I'm sure it will. See? Perfect. Amtrak, we've got Amtrak signs, but I think Amtrak is too new. I don't think Amtrak... Okay. Let's see. No, founded in 1971. It's too new. So I can't have stuff with Amtrak on it. Beware sign antique. Station sign extra large? Maybe. Ha! Oh, great. Ha! To you too. Maybe this one. Ah, no, not this one. Because this one isn't renameable. Even though it's got the text on it, you can't rename it. House design. House design. That's why we put these ones. No trespassers. Shop sign. Road sign. Oh, I see. It's JR, of course. Ah, this one would be nice, surely. We could have a Victorian signalman if we wanted to. Maybe not. Ah, here we have platform sign. Large. Maybe. Then we've got the extra large one, which is the one you suggested. I think that's probably too large. The blue one. Maybe blue. With the plain one. The BR blue one. This one, large one. I think the other one's better. This one. No, that's a different thing. The railways. Looks like that was photographed off of a book. QR sign. Too small. Are you right there, Michael? Are you right? Do you think you get us home before it's night? Well, you couldn't say so. You might. So you might. Oops. Loose gravel. We could have used this sign somewhere. You know what? Yeah, let's place it somewhere. Why not? I mean, I could just place it here. Just kind of like that. Like attached to the tree. But then again, that might not be good enough. Also, I can't really get rid of the signpost, like the thing. No, that's silly. I don't want that there. No, I don't want it here either by the tunnel entrance, because that's not good. I want it somewhere where this would be an Easter egg. Maybe we can have it here. Maybe just here. Can have it behind that bush. No, we'll just have it in front of the bush, like that. Now that's too out in the open. I want it a bit further back. Let's have it there. That way you can kind of see it if you look like this. But it's not that easy to spot. Now hopefully I'll get my camera angle back. I should have made a bookmark. I think that's probably fine. A bit closer maybe. A bit further over, like that. I think that's more accurate. No. Like that, I think it's more accurate. There we go. Let's save. Alright, chat, your thing. Hello, chat. Re-American Overground. House design. JP wrote science 3 to name 1. It was JP. Japanese. Yes, I thought JR for Japanese, but yeah, right, JP. We are not in Hampshire, and don't call me Shirley. Yeah. It does well. Really looks like book-based photography. Thank you for putting those regard things in, because otherwise I had no idea what you would be on about. Here, yes. Nah, not on this tree. Put it right by the tunnel entrance on the left. Kilkee, or you'll never get near it. You're in luck if the train brings you back. But the permanent way is so query. Not clear it, it's query. Kilkee, or you'll never get near it. You're lucky if the train brings you back. But the permanent way is so queer, it spends most of its time off the track. Like that. So queer, it spends. Like, it's so queer, it spends. Should I say, yes! Perfect! Perfect? Okay, well then ship it! Here it is. Bookmarks by Boo K. Mark. Of course, that's Dusty. Yeah. Queer it, yeah. So I'm continuing Amelia and Andre. And A, sorry. Yeah, you told me. You said you wrote it in the book. Is it going well? Stop the presses. Call the container ships and ship it, UK. No, don't just ship it to ship it. Ship it everywhere where people want one. I mean, if that's only in ship it, then only ship it to ship it, but not if that's not the case. I added more info about Amelia's background. Good. However, one thing that every kind of author should be aware of, whether you're writing a book or making a game or running a tabletop roleplay session, is to, and this is a difficult thing, which is to put information, like background info, stuff like that, weave that into the story without having it basically be exposition to the audience. So actually, this is interesting because in more classical works of art, I mean books, not that I've read any, but I know of enough about them that I know this fact. The tradition was, for a long time, even into the Middle Ages, that you'd have a prologue in which the narrator basically exposits the entire backstory to the actual story. So, in some, I'm not sure where it's from, I forgot the name, but for example, you'd have a thing with, okay, so this is the setting, these are the characters, this is this character's motivation, they have this background. So you'd have this huge prologue detailing the entire story, so that when the story begins, you already have all the information, which makes it a lot easier, of course, to relay the information. You don't have to do all sorts of complicated tricks with words and construct these complicated situations that allow you to exposit to the reader without it feeling like you're expositing to the reader, because that's not a good thing. You can't do that. You have to exposit to other characters, which means you have to introduce characters that need expositing to without it feeling constructed, and then that whole thing, it's so much simpler. However, I think one thing is in one of Homer's stories, I think there was a huge bit of exposition backstory on a little sack of gold coins, a little pouch of gold coins, where those had come from and how they were earned, and all of that stuff. Quite a few paragraphs just on that thing, which I guess it's a mixture of changing cultural tastes as well as shortening attention spans, because the main reason why you don't just give this big lore dump before people start getting into it is because if people look at it and see, oh, I have to get through 2,000 pages of lore before I can start the story? No, I'm not doing that. Okay, I might be exaggerating, it might just be 1,000, but that's fine. Point is, it's like the time investment for people to read something, to read a book, has to be much more worth it than back then, compared to the other more easier, less time consuming methods of getting the same sort of reward, essentially. So that's, I guess, why you have to kind of weave it into your structure, your narrative structure. But yeah, that's something that is very tricky, that I'm not sure if you can ever do it perfectly, but it's definitely something you can improve on. I mean, everybody, or most people. I certainly can improve on that a lot. I do think I've gotten better over the years since I've started doing tabletop. Well, I know I've gotten better since I've started tabletop role playing with this kind of just introducing a couple of characters and then just hearing a bit of chatter in the background to make the players interested about, oh, they mentioned a name. Oh, what was that about? And then they ask, oh, hey, you mentioned that name. What was that about? And then that way, the characters, the NPCs, the non-player characters, exposit to the players, but not because I've decided, oh, you need to know this knowledge now, but because the players want to know that knowledge. And I think you can do the same thing in stories, roughly, where there are some bits of info that are really unclear, but just clear enough to pique the reader's interest. And then when a bit later on, the character discovers a little thing that hooks into that, and then the character decides to do research on this thing, or to... It's a bit more difficult if the character already has the knowledge, because then you run into situations like, oh, hello there, hello Bob. Right, yeah, as you know... And here's the thing, as you know, the king decreed that gambling's now illegal. And then Bob says, oh, right, Dave, yes, as you know, you've gambled last Saturday, and that's why the cops are now after you. And he says, yes, and as you know, that's not a really good situation to be in, and my uncle's hideaway has been discovered by the cops, so I'm looking for a new place to stay at. And then Bob says, oh yes, Stephen, as you know, I can't offer you my own place because I'm a civil servant, and that would destroy my family's reputation. And then the as you know is a very easy way out but it's also not a very good way out, because as you know, is the thing where, okay, you're using characters to exposit to actually exposit to the reader. And that works if the characters, for one, are interested in the thing, and two, if the characters don't already know the thing that they're being told. So, what I was saying before about the characters researching or learning more about or inquiring about a certain thing only really works if, one, the reader is already interested in that thing and wants to know more about it, which can be done, depending on the thing, quite easily with a few little hooks. Like in the beginning, you do a little, just tiny bits of information, like something one character might say. Oh, I don't know, something like, "Oh yeah, after last week, I'd be glad to go back to some boring farming." Yeah, just something like that. Just a little hint in a conversation. It's not really about that. And then another time, another little hint. Let someone says something like, oh, I don't know, something like, "Oh yeah." So someone said no. Someone says. Someone says, "Yeah, well, bread prices have spiked since last week. You understand?" Something like that, yeah? Of course, not as clumsily worded, mind you, but something similar to that. So then, when later, maybe a couple of pages later, or, yeah, maybe more later, the character encounters someone who says things like, if they encounter someone who has the potential to exposit about what happened last week, then if maybe they're at a tavern or a bar or something, I'm a fantasy mindset, but if they're in a tavern, then it's like one of the characters, they're at a table and it says, "Oh, a new face. I wouldn't think to see many of those around here since last week." Yeah? Then if the point of view character then asks, what happened last week? Yeah? Then the reader will, if you've done your job correctly, if you've set it up correctly, then the reader will be interested to know that. And then when they get exposited to through the point of view character, it won't feel like a lore dump as much as interesting information that they're getting a glimpse. It will feel valuable, is I'm guessing what I'm saying. But of course depends on the situation. It's just that's a sort of thing that I enjoy doing, which is storytelling, I guess. I guess it's part of storytelling. Right. So you see, yes. The college she goes to is the Royal Army College for Special Forces. The Engineers branch. I see. Don't spoon-feed readers the lore, of course. Do that a little bit, but most of it should be locked behind a fork. Yeah. And even if the reader gets the fork, the lore should still be hard to cut, let alone gulp down. And if you bring knives into the mix, yikes, just yikes. True. And the college organizes an annual contest in which the most distinctive teams from different army colleges are put against each other in a millism airsoft competition. Oh, I see. Milli-sim airsoft competition. I see. And Sporks portray lore twisters. Those confuse everyone. Best to keep the lore to spoonfuls and forkfuls. True. Sure it is. So, like, if it's a game you're developing and there's a tavern, the NPCs always just have generic mumbling. And if the player is near, explosion _ tavern _ NPC _ dialogue 1.wave. Go! That's how a lot of, I think, Bethesda's games do it. It's like you walk near an NPC and then they say something like, oh, I don't know, I used to be an adventurer like you, but then I got a knee to an arrow. Or something like that. I don't know, something like that. Something like that. Something like that. Bob, Dave, and Steve. Hello, archive viewers. Oh, hello there. I didn't realize you three were watching. Okay, got it. It wasn't really I didn't really say that. I didn't really... No, don't understand me. I didn't say that as a correction. I said it simply as my views on how certain things can be done for you to do with as you wish. If you wish to use what I've said as... If you want to use that, go ahead. If you don't, that's okay. There is no... that was not meant as a correction or as, okay, this is how you need to do it. Don't do it differently. It was just meant as basically a helpful tip, essentially. Plus, I like talking about those kind of things and exploring those subjects. Greetings, player. As you know, the dragon has escaped from its cave in the mountains, and it's up to you, and you alone, to save the kingdom. Here, take this golden magic sword to aid you in your adventurous yet heroic quest. Okay. So that's to test their combat effectiveness. Yes, the airsoft gun test. Yeah. SAS higher-ups are watching too. Yeah. I can imagine. So no pressure. Oh, yeah, of course. You know, it's just the brass of military that are watching you, and you've got to... No pressure. Right. Shadow's exposition, not explosion. Oh, that... Oh no, it is exposition. It is exposition. I misread it. I thought... explosion. Okay. Explosion? Wait, you go near an NPC and then there's explosion audio file? Wait, no. Oh, I see. It's tavern dialogue about an explosion. Oh, I see. I thought you had the topic of the thing in there as well, but yeah. Might have mistyped. Wow, deep gruff voice. Casino? Tavern! Casino? Did I say casino? Did I say casino? I didn't think I said casino. Not sure. I think so. I don't think I did. Look, you. Yes, you. No, not the other viewer. You. No, not the guy next door. You. If you're watching the archive, you can go back about 5 seconds. Did I say casino? Or did I not? That'd be useful to know. Okay, now you can enjoy the regular scheduled program. Thank you very much. Oh, and don't leave it up to one of the other people who are watching this, because if everybody leaves it up to someone else, then it ends up never getting done. So, no, there's no sense in putting it off. I'm joking. But it would be useful to know that. And Amelia has a team for that contest. It's composed of 4 people. Her, codename Viper, Captain. Hin, codename Hawkeye! Like from Terrahawks. Hawkeye. Sniper. Marie, codename Zen, the heavy gunner. And Gabriella, codename Brix, the scout. I see. I don't really very much enjoy those kind of settings. However, I don't really very much enjoy military settings in general. But, yeah, still good. Right. Let's ease this on both sides. No, it's one more side, of course. That's good. So I want this to be somewhat symmetrical. So that's one. Is that symmetrical? That's not completely symmetrical. I'll need to move this in a bit. Oh, that's difficult to pull off. Like that? No, it's because it snaps. Like that, maybe? Yeah, that seems quite centered. Trainz, you did say it, casino. Okay, I'm gonna have a listen to this. You might hear it over the speakers, so it's fine. Explosion. Okay. Explosion. Wait, go beyond NPC and there's explosion audio file. Wait, no. Oh, I see. It's tavern dialogue about an explosion. Explosion. Okay. Explosion. Wait, go beyond NPC and there's explosion audio file. Wait, no. I see. It's tavern dialogue about an explosion. I can't hear myself saying explosion. I can't hear myself saying casino in that. I see. It's tavern. I said. Dialogue about an explosion. Explosion. Okay. Her explosion. Oh, explosion. Wait, you go near an NPC and then. There's an explosion audio file. Wait. Oh, I see. Oh, it's tavern. Dialogue. Not an explosion. Oh, why? That's I don't think I can't hear myself saying casino in that. I can't hear myself saying casino in that. Wait, you go in a casino and there's no. I did not say casino. I said NPC. Wait, you go to an NPC. No. I said, wait, you go near an NPC and then there's an explosion. So you go near an NPC. Your words, not mine. No, they are your words. They are definitely your words, not mine. Wink, wink, wink. Yeah. However, they were one man short after the moving of her last team member, Priskana. Oh, why was she moved? Why was she moved from the team? Oh, nothing bad happened. Near a casino. No, near an NPC. You go near an NPC, that's what I said. See, your words, not mine. Which is what you typed, but it's different perspective, so. Near the start. It's very rushed. Oh, NPC! Yes. That's my bad then, I see. Never mind. Near an NPC sounded like in a casino. Really? Near an NPC sounded like in a casino. Interesting. I see to me. No, it's good. It's okay. So she asks A if he would like to join the team, because according to the papers, A is part of the RACSF for 6 months. According to the papers? Do you mean newspapers, or do you mean like reference papers or identification papers? What kind? Priskana moved with her mum after she married an American millionaire. Oh. Well, then. Well, it might be a bad thing, but maybe not a bad thing. Depends on how that turns out. Oh. Okay. 1, 2, 3 is the gap. I'll need to move this over a bit. So 1 over here, 2, and then 3. So 1, 2, 3. I do need to move this down a bit. Yeah, there's still the issue where you look at that. If I'm trying to select the thing here, the sign, move it up and down, I can't, because there's no terrain behind it. There's just the sky behind it. I can't do that. So, like this, for example. If I click up here, I can't do it. If I click down here with a terrain behind it, then I can do it. That issue still has not been fixed, apparently. Maybe it's in Service Pack 3. Maybe it's been fixed, but I doubt it. And that rotation seems almost perfect. There we go. A politely accepts. Amelia tells her mum, who asks A if he could come with her to her workplace in order for his body measurements to be taken. Oh, I see. Hopefully we won't get to the 18 plus bits, because this is, after all, a 13 plus stream, so just yeah, just as a precaution. Because I know you said that this story is the one that has some 18 plus bits in it. Is he preparing for a coffee? Coffin? Oh, because of the body measurements. That's a good joke. Right, so let's see. This is... it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let's do 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do 6. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which means what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's odd. That's not centered. Yeah, it's not centered. Well, it should be good. Should be good enough. I'll put one... Tell you what, I'll put one where the edge of the building is. So, like that. You see, Lady Anna was working on prototype light battle armor. Oh, yes, of course. As all ladies do. And she got permission from the organizers to use the contest to test the armor's combat effectiveness. I thought they were using airsoft. I guess maybe because of moving around, that sort of thing. Alright, and because Amelia's team had a new member, she had to take A's body measurements in order to make the armor. Oh, I see. So it's specifically tailor-made. It's a millisim type match. I'm not sure what millisim... Airsoft, not aerosoft. Airsoft. What is millisim? Could you define millisim, please? Because I'm not sure what that term means. Who's using aerosoft, eh? Oh, yeah. Means it's a simulation of actual military combat scenarios. Yeah, that's what I thought it meant. But for testing the armor, do you mean, like, what sorts of tests? Do you mean, like, agility tests? Like, how good you're able to move in them? Or if it's got some sort of power system in it as well? Like, how good that's performing with movements? Or if it's, like, what? Or camouflage? Or what type of thing? Because if it's airsoft, then you wouldn't really be able to test how well the armor protects from projectiles and things. With real high detail replicas, sometimes with vehicles. Yeah. Had to add the full stop because I was sending messages too quickly. Meh. Yeah, I don't think that's a thing that I can change. Okay. How does that look? I think that looks reasonably well. The canopy adds a lot. So if you're... Let's see. Okay, so if you're coming from here, you'd already be able to see the station in the distance. Actually, let's do it from this angle. So you're just coming in along here. You can see the station in the distance already. Well, at least with this little amount of foliage, yeah. You come in, and then you can see this. Yeah, I like that. I'm happy with this. It's not finished, obviously, but yeah. I also think this building does really fit. Oh, if the protective suits are able to be externally controlled, yipes, that'd be scary. Oh yeah, well, they have to be, because after all, it's for your own protection. That's a very scary sentence in most cases. If you say it's for your own good or for your own protection, it generally means it's not really for your own good. Or at least it's not actually for your own good, even though people think it's for your own good. They could make you... Alright, agility, active environment, camouflage, augmented targeting systems. I see. Right, yeah, that makes sense. That's the sort of stuff I was expecting. They could make you do anything. Walk around, shoot things, yeah, that's pretty much anything. Just walking around and shooting things. I mean, in most... Actually, thinking about it, in most first-person games, that is everything you can do. You walk around and you shoot things. Right. Just a thought, though. Right. Shadows, now that just sounds like a Doctor Who episode. Maybe. The way you said it, the way you said that, like something the baddie would say, yeah. The user is always in control. Can go. They can take off the armor's helmet. Or a baddie would say. Right. Okay, so what's missing? The issue is, when you search for station images, you get images either like this, of the actual station building, or inside the station. Most of them are inside the station building. Not many of them are on the platform. I know, I need to put more signs, or any signs over here as well. I think I might do a little bit of research. Just have a little look at some images. Oh, yeah. oh, you can't even see that. Oh, can you? Yeah, you can see that a bit. 10 arbitrary points to you if you know what that is. I know Kango, you know it. But if someone else who knows it, what's in which down, is it that? Yeah, that way, yeah. Down that way. Let's look for USA Railroad Platform. Look at that. Would look nicer without the rubbish bag on it. But that looks so atmospheric, doesn't it? Ooh. Which, by the way, is from fineartamerica.com. In case you were interested. GG1. Probably. There was some other ones that were similar, but I think that's a GG1. You can see it's in Penn Central livery. Yeah. Listen to the computer's mics. Not mics, listen to computer's fans going. Sorry about that. Sorry, you couldn't hear what I was saying. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. There you go. Did I get you? It was a joke, because actually, you can see, if I put it over here, you can hear that if I am talking, you can still, not very loudly, but you can still hear what I'm saying, even though I'm just talking at a normal volume. So, yeah, it was a joke. Maybe I got someone. Hopefully, if I did get you with it, hopefully you find it funny. Hopefully. I know if I was on the other side, I would find it funny. Right. Alright, I think I might do a little bit of research. That's generally a good idea. Yeah, that is generally a good idea. Especially in times like these. Trainz, Indiana Jones? What, you whistled? Not sure, maybe. Oh, that. Amelia's team instructor is called Lieutenant M. He is retired SAS captain and good friend of Lady Anna. Spoiler warning! Cold space program? Astronaut lounge thing? Maybe. Or contract. Yeah, it was Cold space program, but I'm not sure if it was lounge, astronaut lounge, or if it was the contract building. Whatever that's called. Listen to the computer's fangs going. Brings my closer. Chop, 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 slice. I see. Forgotten Sie not den Ballast Paradise. No, I won't forget it. Don't worry about it. Shadows, we can't hear you. So it did get ya. There we go. Ha. That might have been too loud. Ha. Only for the first 1.5 seconds. Yeah. Are you sure that's not hours? XD. The scene I posted in Intramisk is their first training session for this mission. Meanwhile, I did a mod. I changed the frequency of the contest. What do you mean? Oh, you mean you modified the story, so you changed how often it happens. Instead of being annual, it happens every 2 years. Oh, I see. So is it biannual then? Is that biannual? I think it's biannual. That's called. I was He said exaggerated, maybe? Right, I was thinking maybe we can add a clock, like station clock somewhere. Maybe one of these ones, maybe? Bracket, no. So, maybe that could be good. Let's twist it 90 degrees, that's what I need. As always. No. I want this to be placed. Let's say... Yeah, let's say that. That exact same thing. So I want this to be placed... in the center or further to the side. Let's put it... No, let's center it. Let's center it. Yes, I know the suspension things won't add up exactly right. Although actually, no, they do. I just need to center it a bit better. Oh, come on, it is ever so slightly fiddly with a shift key. So when it vanishes, there we go. When it's kind of inside the beam. There we go. And then I want 1, 2. Oh, wait, what was that? 1, 2, right. So 1, 2 would be there. Yeah, that seems right. That's the wrong one. Need the suspended one. Yes, but you'll just have to suspend your disbelief. Of course, also station sounds will help, but I'll do the sound pass when it's finished, basically. When the route's finished, I'll run a sound pass. I'll basically place loads and loads of sounds on the route. And I will probably do it with layers, so that if I've got night sessions, I won't have the same birds chirping, day sounds. I think this platform, I think 1 clock's enough for this platform. Just sort of in the center. Because apparently one side of the station is being used more than the other side. Okay, now let's center this. Just so it's meeting with the beam, just sort of like that. This one is centered, yes it is. Nice, I think the clocks do add quite a bit. It would be nice if they were linked to the actual in-game time. Actually, do they have any settings? Probably don't, but actually it might be. Oh, they might actually be linked to the in-game time. Hold on, I want to test this in driver. Preliminary chat. One contest happens, 2 years pass, another happens, yes. Ah, should I put one of the on the building itself? Oh, maybe. This is the first Trainz stream I have ever found. Oh, well then, welcome. I hope you found a good one. Right, Mr. Snipes. Mr. Snipes, or Mr. Snipes. Snipes, probably. Snipes. Hello, welcome to the stream. Right, hey, welcome in. Thank you. You're welcome. XD, shadows. I'm working on a route too, and for weeks I kept checking if a Trainz stream was up. Ah. Suspension of disbelief joke. Ah, I see. Mr. Snipes, alright. Where's the route set, if you don't mind? Steam era Canada. Oh. Nice. Yes, ooh, nice. Exactly my response. Sure, clocks are good. Good. Hopefully it hasn't frozen. Sometimes it freezes if you save. Yeah, it's frozen. 1 second. Command Alt Escape. Let me just start again. It'll be fine, don't worry about it. Ooh, nice. I started that. Yeah, some are. Like some Romanian and Polish assets. Yeah. See a Northern and Vanderbilt tender? Heart. Ah, alright. Vanderbilt, yeah. I found an abandoned branch line on Georgian Bay in Canada, so I'm recreating that area. Oh, that sounds really nice. Yeah. There's something about abandoned lines that just is so... Is wistful the right... Wistful? Is that the right word? Let me look up what wistful means. May not mean the thing I think it means. Wistful. Gushing, wistful, dreamy, lost in thoughts. Yeah, kind of dreamy, lost in thoughts. Yeah, so wistful. So there's something wistful about... By the way, this entire map was built on stream, except for the first baseboard, which is this one. This baseboard right here. All the other map is built on stream, so yeah. So you've got the mountains up there. It's not finished yet, obviously. I'll also add more baseboards on the side, so you won't be able to see the corner, the edges so much. Then it gets into the flatlands with farms and things, and then eventually it'll get to a city, which is where we're just on the cusp of. Just on the cusp of that. Right. I want to see if it's synced. Right. Let's see. Oh, they are as well. Look at that. Actually, you don't have to look at that. Well, you will, but I want to change the thing 1 second. Session info. Oh, not info. Session options. Time rate. Let's take it all the way up. Look at that. Is it moving? I wonder when it updates. It might only update every couple of minutes. Yeah, it probably only updates every couple of minutes. Maybe if I reload the asset. Oh yeah, it just updated, look at that. Just updated. Oh, Vitra, you're going? Oh. Right, see you next time. See you next time then. See you next time. Thank you for stopping by. Right. So this is what it looks like in the morning, so far. Also, there's something about signal gantries. Just how they're so tall and up against the blue sky. Something about that just looks really nice. It's going to be so nice driving sessions on this. Just imagine such as the early morning mist is in the air. Also early morning fog as well. No, joking aside. And then you just come to stop here and you have a look around the station, wait for people to board, and then you set off on your journey. Actually, that's nicer. By the way, if you want to hide the junction helpers, it's Control-H, the keyboard shortcut. Yeah, and then you're just on your journey. Actually, let's have a look along this bit, what it looks like in the morning. Right, the sun's just shining into the tunnel because this is facing west-east. Actually, I'm just quickly going to fly over a bit of the route, just because since I've already got the time, I might as well have a look at it. Oh, 1 second, I need to can you have a look at this? No, that's fine, it's fine. The only thing I'm not convinced about is how this road looks in the shadow. That's very, very dark asset. Also, the lag is because of my machine. If you're running, if TRS-19 doesn't usually lag for you, this will not lag for you. Actually, let's have a look at the farm as well. Yeah, just look. I like that. Look at this. This looks good, doesn't it? The hay bales over there. They're still repairing the truck. Right. The substation as well. There are oh, and look at all the cornflowers. Or the yellow flowers in here, not cornflowers. Elf goes around there. There are also sounds already on this map, like for example the crows over here, but I've not got the sound switched over yet because I didn't expect we'd need them. But just imagine crows crowing. Alright, and then continues along here. I might replace that road as still debating it. Maybe I'll replace it. Look, even here it's quite smooth, really, for the speed I'm going at. Well, now it's a bit laggy because there are trucks ahead, I think. Oh yeah, because it's loading more stuff. That's fine. A little yard here with a water. This is set in the 50s, 60s. So you've got steam trains and diesels running around, and then yeah, it's that loco that's a bit laggy. At least for me. For you it won't be. Yeah, and you've also still got a few semaphores still around on the branch line. So for example, this is the sugarcane branch. Goes along there. You've got the wigwag signals. I think they're called wigwags. Continues along here. Going past Knago Halt, which is named after Kango Fango in chat. Shove the American signal box. Okay, I will in a second. And it just carries along here. And this is where the sugarcane fields are. Actually, this is a really nice scene. This is a scene I really like, which is the little gas station here. Just something about this, just I really like that. Anyway, yeah, and there is a little. So there are 3 loading points here. There's one over there, one up there, and one over here. I won't show the entire thing because that'll take too long. But yeah, just sugarcane fields. It's left small little steam shunters on here as well. Right. I might as well show you the other bits as well. This area here, it's a little overgrown here, the end of it. And then the other loading area. And by the way, all of this again was built on stream. Yeah, that's the reason why we're now on episode, what, 89? But yeah, that's all Trainz. It's not all been this, but most of it's been this. Yeah, these little steam shunters, I knew I had one somewhere. These ones. That looks so good, doesn't it? In the morning light with the shadows on the boxcars. I would take a screenshot here, but we didn't work on this area at all, so that would be a bit lying. Well, a bit cheating more. I'll just quickly go the rest of it. It'll not take that long. Right, and then the main line continues along here. Then you've got another little farm down here. The main line will continue a little while over here, but it'll probably just go to some portals. You've got a bit of wetlands over here, and this is where the track becomes single track. This is not done, obviously. Then it goes over this very nice drawbridge. Carries along here. I'll still show it, don't worry. It will also carry on straight, but that's not done, as you can see. And then it starts going up the actual Milton Valley, which the route is named after. So as you can see, it starts climbing here. This was early days of the route, this part here. Then we get 2 horror point sightings. There's a story behind that. If you want to know the story, have a look at stream number 3, which is archived on YouTube. Alright, and then this is all an uphill upgrade based thing. And then we get to this bit where the track goes over onto the little road. But the road's only used to access the horror point sightings anyway. But yeah, the road doesn't look great in the shadow, but that's really the only downside of that asset. Right. Goes over here, and then we get to Nathizir, the town. Which for me, for some reason, is just always so laggy, but it's been tested on the machines and nobody's been able to find a fault in it, so for them it's not laggy. And then over this very interesting bridge design here into the town. I'll go along the branch a little bit later. Yeah, then we'll carry along here. Goes to single track again. Then we get to the dam. I'll just zoom in a bit so you can see it more clearly. You can see in the distance, you can see the dam there. Right, well the line vanishes into the tunnel. And this is actually the Swiss tunnel, which has got like the moss on the ceiling. Very old asset, but very nice asset. Done up the entrances. Looks a bit better. Right, then you can see the dam. I'm still very, very happy about this dam, how that turned out, especially with the water behind it. Yeah, track comes out here. Then we're by the lake. Carries along up here. And this is where you can load logs. Also a water filling station, a water tower. A few sidings here that just twist around. And yeah, basically you can either have a look out there over the lake. You know what, I might just use this as a thumbnail just because it looks so good. Yes, it's not really what we've been working on. Oh, I might not use it because again, people might go in expecting this and then they might be disappointed, so I'm probably not going to use it, but I might post it on Discord anyway. Anyway, yeah, it continues along here, along the side, and the actual main line, the Milton Valley main line, will continue up this way. I'll have a siding here, but there is also a little branch that comes in here because of this bridge. This is also another old asset, this bridge. However, oops, sorry. This bridge is another old asset. However, it is such a nice bridge, and it's got such nostalgia attached to it, and it still actually holds up fairly well. So I've used it here. Yeah. Anyway, the line continues along, giving you another quite a good view here. This is quite a sharp turn, but it's not too sharp. I've tested it with steam locos, and it just about works. Right, and this carries on along here as well. Then it goes off here. It's not done, of course, this bit back there, but yeah, that's basically the line, except for another branch line, which I have not shown you yet. I will show it to you. I didn't mean to give you a tour of the route. Kind of happened accidentally, but that's where we're at, so that's good. Anyway, yeah, and that is over by North Seer, this branch that goes off over that road. I love these bridges because you've got the road bridge going underneath. I love it when bridges cross over each other, so yeah, anyway, this will cross over here. Now this river does have sounds, and this is not that well maintained. You can see there's like ballast over the sleepers and things like that. The road's also very bumpy. That's deliberate, by the way. I know you can't hear the sounds of the river because they're not switched over yet, but I'd have to quit Trainz and then open it back up again to... It's just water rushing, basically. And then it comes along here to this little embankment here, which took a while to make because I've had to use splines to fill up the ballast here and things like that, but it adds quite a bit, I think. And then this basically continues on until it gets to this more open bit, where if we go straight, yeah, again, road in the show. In the daytime, this looks much, much better, the road. Anyway, yeah, to this little gravel pit. You've got an industry here, which will actually consumes goods, I think. Yeah, it's not set up yet, but it will consume goods. And then you've got the gravel loading station here, and you can actually go look into the pit as well and see the mining the quarrying operation. And for some reason there's military all around here. It looks like they're probably guarding something in this building. Maybe something in there. You can just about see the edge of it. Anyway, got some sidings here with basically just some sidings. Really, that's all about. That's it. And then the actual line also continues straight along here. And it will continue to another town further up this little valley/canyon. But that's not done yet either. And that's all of the route. Also, there is a little car here. Look at that. There's a little car here it's just been left here by someone. It's not meant to be so, it's just been left here for so long. It's been waiting for its owner, but now it's kind of rusted and falling apart. However, there's a little mattress in there and little chairs, so people do come here and share stories by a campfire, so it's not that lonely. Anyway, right, so that's basically the map so far. Paul. Oh yeah, the driver. I was thinking, oh, is that an Easter egg I forgot about? Paul? No, Paul is just the name of the driver. Right, anyway. So yes, the clocks update. That's what I wanted to have a look at. Oh, and we're about to reach 11 o'clock, so I might just get a thumbnail from this bit, because that's probably the thing I'll be using as a thumbnail. So maybe... I will still do a little bit of work until we actually get to... that's quite a lot of empty space in the front. Don't really want that. Until we get to 11 o'clock. Actually, maybe on the tracks, not that extreme an angle, but maybe I will reach chat very soon. I don't worry, I haven't forgotten about you. Have not forgotten at all. Maybe like, well, like that. Yeah, that seems good. There we go. Now let's read chat. Right. Oh, where was I? Oh, there's a bit of chat there. Alright. Alright. The thing about recreating the area. Very nice. Mr. Snipes is the same orange as Vija for me. And on stream, both are the same green. Oh, well. For me, he's the same green as he's on stream in the chat, but Vija is a very blue, a sky blue. The 18 plus stuff is later in the story, in between Christmas and New Year's. Oh, right. You're probably not hearing this because you're already gone, but yeah. Alright, but I'll not be explicit. Thank you. Alright, on the Canadian National webpage, I found charts of all the sidings and crossings and speed limits, and it is very scenic. Ah, that sounds so nice. When that route is finished, well, if you finish the route, when it's finished, will you upload it to the DLS? Or is it going to be payware or private or what? Oh, so it's now a road. It was actually... Oh, I see. It's a road now. Ah. Ah, well, that does look very scenic. This, yeah. It'll go like... To summarize the story here, one detailed... Ponos in... One nose and cuddling scene later. Oh, I see. Yes, that looks beautiful. Miss Snipes, man, gotta bounce. See you next time. Oh yeah, see you next time. You're already gone, but still. And for your sake, I do hope that you bounce. This is for the better. Vija, that is for the better, I'd say. Re-summarization, yeah, definitely. At least for these streams. Bye, good night. Das wird so schön sein, sagt Sherrice. Mit dem frühen Morgenmist. Und Nebel, fügt er hinzu. Well, if you say it in German, then that's basically the joke gone. Well, it's kind of the joke itself, but you've got to know German, really. Yeah. Looks like Black Tar Road. Yes, but the thing is, if it's daylight, if it's daytime, like, I've got the road over here as well. So let's have a look over here in the shadow. So this is what it looks like during shadow. I was about to say during night, but no, it's shadow. And then if I go to session options, look, if I change it to day, this is what the road looks like at day. Look at that. This is what the road looks like during the day. Just nice, normal, perfectly fitting asset. Also, I still really like the scene here. But hey, perfectly fitting asset. But then as soon as you get shadows on it, look at that. And it's just so jarring because the shadow on the ground beside it isn't that dark. But then again, it looks so good otherwise. If I find a good enough replacement for it, I will replace it. But for the moment, this is the best road I have for the thing, so yeah. Anyway, I'm on the same place. I'm at the same place I was yesterday. Well, not yesterday. Last time I streamed this. So anyway, that's interesting. Actually, I might change the time of day a bit, make it more interesting for you while I read the rest of chat. Ooh. Oh, yeah, like that maybe. Just very early morning mist. Still in the shadows, like that. Ooh. Atmospheric. Right. Yeah, that road has got a bug where it is twice as dark as it should be if it's in the shadow. But it's fine, I'd say. It looks perfectly rural. Oh, well, thank you very much for the compliment. That's exactly what I was striving for. Exactly. It's always nice to hear that other people find the things that you made, the creative things you made good. So, yeah. Exactly, heart. Cra, cra, cra. Oh, right. We're all the way back there with the crows. Like that. I need to recreate apple orchards in the area I'm building. Haha. Funny you should mention those. In nothing to see here, which is actually nothing to see here because there are some secret Easter eggs in this place. There are some apple trees as well. If you look back here in this little park, you can see I'm using these ancient apple trees from, well, as old as Trainz is. Because it's just another little nostalgia thing. Because these realistically will never get used on a modern map, unless it's a situation like this. But the thing is, if you look at it from the bottom, from where the tracks are, all the way over here, just zoom out a bit, you can just see that you can't see that much detail on them. If you just go up close, you can see them. Yes, definitely. That's basically it. Actually, maybe the dam would be nice. No, that's too much fog. Too much fog. I'll go back to the image I had before. Ooh, maybe. Ooh, no. This thing, the bridge. Ooh, the bridge in the fog. Maybe? Maybe not. No, it's too foggy. Although, from this angle, that's nice. It would be nicer if it had a bit of more, well, scenery behind it. But it's nice enough, I'd say. You can even see the loco back there. Well, maybe if I can turn the camera a bit more. I know I'm spending loads of time trying to get a good angle for this, but... well... maybe with these trees in the foreground. Maybe that'll look good. Oh yes, we've even got a track. Like that! Look at that! I think this is pretty much a shot I had for one of my thumbnails, but still. Look at that. Anyway, right. And the end of the line town had a hard push turntable right by the water. Oh, that sounds so nice. Shall show off the American seal box? I will, once I've read chat. Please! Wigwag, yeah, me. Right, oh you, yeah. Thanks for the name suggestions, Willa Gaming. Shadays, this route's truly stunning. Aww. Love it a lot, especially with this lighting. Haha. 89. Yeah, there's a lot of work on display here. 89, yeah. It's most of those streams are. There are a couple of them which are multiplayer streams that weren't, and route exploration streams as well. But the thing is, I'm only working on this route on stream, in addition to reading chat. So that's 4 hours per week. With reading chat, it's realistically more like maybe 3, maybe 2.5. Well, probably 2.5 hours per week. So it's actually not that much time overall, I'd say. There be a camelback, yes. Trainz, take a screenshot would nay be liner cheaten. Making it the thumbnail would. Yes, you're right. Oh, where was I? Trainz, also tell us your wood chip ship bit too. I want to hear it. Alright, so how many wood chips would a wooden wood chip ship if a wooden wood chip ship would ship wooden wood chips? There we go. It's a new twist on the how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Because that's just too easy if you're used to it. Damn, that view is breathtaking. Well done. I don't mind at all. Oh, right, the showcase. Oh, well, glad. Agreed. Haha, I love adding little things like that, yes. Adding people to a scene is some of the most fun. Yes, you're right. Gee, Paradise, I do wonder what that thing does. What that thing those beigely dressed security army officers were guarding in that oh so mysterious warehouse type structure. Do tell. It's an asset I made. It's on the DLS. It's called Test Cube with Tex. text for texture. It was the first object I've ever put into Trainz from Blender, and it was never meant to be really used, but I decided, oh, well, it's such a strange, funny-looking object, I might as well upload it, and, well, I've used it on this route, and I know other people have used it as Easter eggs on their routes as well, so that's quite nice. Snipes, I agree. It did it a lot, but I don't really do it anymore because I want scenes with people to be session-specific, and I've practically never done a session despite me using Trainz since 2008, was it? Yeah, but the thing is, with bound layers, you can put all the people on the scenes, and then you can just make a session-specific layer, and then on that session, put those objects on that bound layer, and then disable the layer, which means the objects will be gone only on that scene, even though they're on the root layer. Bound layers are so useful. Just never managed to finish root, I guess. Well, yeah, it's just motivation, I guess, really. Oh well. I will probably put it on the DLS, and the road looks fantastic during the day. Yeah, it does. It looks fantastic during the day, and that's where most sessions will be set, so... Yeah, I mean, if I find a good replacement, then that would be fantastic, but yeah, not sure yet. Trainz, imagine if someone made a Canadian expansion map mod for Extreme Trucker 2 using many of the Montana assets, maybe something like Vancouver Island? Oh, that would be great. That'd be lovely, yes. With the Haze HDX and everything. Trainz, maybe you could ask the Dirt Roads author to fix it? Offer perms to fix it yourself? Well, I wouldn't know how to fix it. I think it's an issue with a normal map. I wouldn't know how to fix it because I don't really know how Trainz works in that way. I know how Unity works in that way, but Trainz no. Overcast on Dirt Road. Overcontrast. Not overcast. Oh, these assets. Oh, I remember those. The Fruit IO or LO. Yes. Tree fruit, not the fruit. Yeah. Maybe these for one of the fog nails. Maybe. Trainz, Snipe said hand push, not hard push. Oh, of course, that makes so much more sense. Thank you for correcting that. They have a new apple tree, so I will try and combine that with the old tree in the background. Yes, I know. I've used the new apple trees as well quite a lot on my British maps in the back backyards of terrace houses, because they're actually those apple trees are quite a nice color in spring if you're doing semi-seasonal or seasonal route. The new apple trees. Ah, nice. Thanks for that, Paradise. How many wood chips would a wooden that whole thing? Would a wooden wood chip ship a wooden wood chip wooden wood chips? Yes. Paradise, rebound layers. That is a good call, but then I might end up putting them somewhere where the session doesn't even take the player. I think I'll place them when I make a session someday. Yeah, sure. I think it's LO for low resolution. Yeah, I think so too. Sure, it's also feel free to go a bit overtime. Yeah, super blossoms in spring setting. Yes, exactly. Right, so there was one thing I want to show you, which is the American signal box I'm using for the little yard, what do you call it? Oh, blackberry sightings. So over here, let me just change the time of day a bit. Said God. No, says I. Let's do it. Let's do it a bit in the evening. Why not? And the evening and morning lights are distinct in this. They're by the default color settings. They are not the same. So yeah, look at it. Look at this. Look at the signal box. It's definitely an American signal box. Definitely not European at all. Definitely an American signal box. How can you tell? Well, because they stuck an American flag on it. And I even made sure to put it by the window, so you can actually reel it in if you need to clean it or change it or whatever. So, definitely American signal box. Right. Gmoo. Gmoo? Why gmoo? Haha, yes! Great stuff. Yeah, I'm glad you like it. I find that quite funny as well. Right. I don't want to go that much over time, but I will place well, maybe place. So I want to place a clock. So it has this clock up here. I want to replace that with one of the animated ones. Where is it? I need to reselect it. There we go. Oh, that's odd. I need to do it like this, so that makes sense. There we go. We've got the St. Pancras clock, which is, I think, a bit big for this area. Oh yeah, that's definitely a bit big. Also, it says dent on it. And this one, maybe? I think it's probably just the one that I've been using so far. The one that's suspended. Maybe the wooden frame one. How big is that one? No, that's tiny. No, it would have to be the one, the suspended one. Not sure then, because that might look a bit weird. With the... well, yeah, that would look a bit weird. No, I meant with the... Although I suppose they might be... They look like antenna now. Although no, I can move them inside, maybe. Oh, no, actually, this fits quite well. And look, the supports are even embedded in the asset. Look at that. I need to move it in a little bit more, but that fits really well. Thank you for the suggestion there. Kango Fango. There we go. Maybe a little bit down, just a tiny bit. Like that. Ah! That does so much to making this asset look more modern, look more high quality, because if you look at it, it's actually got quite blurry textures, because it's a really, really old asset. But if you look at it, the thing that your eyes are drawn to are two things. One are these pillars, and since these are 3D pillars, they've got vector graphics, so basically they've got sharp edges. The second thing is the clock. So actually having that clock, with that high quality clock, that adds so much to the scene. I'm really happy about that. Thank you very much. Okay, I will just add also the couple of signs along here on this platform. By the way, the city doesn't have a name yet, and neither does the station. I want to let the people who watch the streams decide that. Well, ish. Make recommendations. That's what I want to say. Right, so there we go. That is 1 and then 2, 1 and then 2. I need one there. Just like that. Then there we go. And I will of course do more detailing, like putting benches on here and stuff like that. Do I want one in the center? Yeah, sure, let's have one in the center as well. Also, I may replace the invisible stations, because with some that actually have people all the way along the platform, not just collected on one point of it, but that's an easy thing. So like that. Maybe move it in a bit more so it's more in line with the others. There we go. I can now delete the rulers. Don't need those anymore. Yeah, I'm actually really pleased with how that is turning out. Well, you know what? No, just one tiny little thing. Just add a bit of ballast, really. It'll only take but a moment. Might as well twirl it a little bit. Occasionally change the rotations of the ballast so that the pattern's not repeating too much. Okay, right. Yes, it is 5 meter grid. There we go. A little, tiny little bit more there. Right. So, yeah. Just imagine what this will look like with houses around and foliage. And yes, I've deliberately still left this here because I want to do something with that. Yeah, the street and stuff, basically. I'm happy that I found this canopy. That adds so much to the scene. Let's just save again. Hopefully it doesn't crash or freeze. No, it didn't. Great. So, now let's end the stream. I've been going for over 2 hours. So, yeah, that's pretty reasonable length, considering it's the length on my timetable, as you can see. So, yes, great stuff. Because cowsies. Re-y gmoo. Oh, because of the gmoo. Oh, thank you very much for coupling up. Thank you very much for following. Right. And this time I actually see it, because I don't have to wait, because I've got OBS open. Right. Oh, right. It already has a clock. Didn't even notice. Haha. Oh, I thought you meant to place it over that one, but yeah. That worked out great. That is magnificent. Fit. Great stuff. Shreddies. You are welcome. I was like, are you welcome? No, you are welcome. How about Tallahay. That might be a good name for it. Tallahay. You mean for the city or for the stop? Maybe the station. I'll write it down. Yes. Pen. Tallahay. City name. Yeah. Maybe city name. I think I'll probably give it to the station. I think I'll probably give that name to the station. Not necessarily the city. But yes, thank you very much for that name. Okay, so city name. Shreddies, 5 meter, 5 meter, great, yes. Shreddies, I'm really happy with how this is turning out. Canopy, clocks, and everything. I'd drive a train on it. Hopefully catch you next time. Yes, I will. I will definitely also drive a train on it. Yeah, well, I hope to catch you next time as well. Thanks for coupling up, Mr. Snipes. Is it Snipes? I hope, if I am mispronouncing your name, please let me know. Well, welcome to the train. Shreddies, the hey was pronounced hi. Oh, I see. Tallahay. Oh, I see. Tallahay. Meant to be. But yes, see you soon. Good night, y'all. Yes. Snipes, you said it correct. Oh, great. Happy about that. Right, so just shout-outs at the end. Just a couple things. So, Kango Fango streams on Sundays. He streams driving in Train Simulator as well as truck simulators. He also streams map development in Trainz and OMSI 2, which is coming along quite nicely. Although maybe I would love it if the progress was a bit faster on those maps, but then again, I wish the progress on my stuff would be faster as well. So, yeah. Also, if you've got tiers 19 and you want to see some good routes, I would suggest looking up on the DLS Central Europe as well as Cornish Railways. Great maps, they deserve more attention. So, yeah, that's all the shoutouts done. And just reading chat and then I'll end the stream. Shreddies, yeah, I thought put the clock below, but since it has an actual clock, this is far more perfect. Far more perfect. Thank you, Shreddies. Oi! Yeah. Also, this stream will be archived on the Shreddies YouTube channel, and that's it then. Thank you all very much for watching. Whether watching is live or archived. Yep, I'll do ETS2 Iberia tomorrow. And bye. Yes, good. Thanks again for both, Shreddies. Oh, you're welcome. Bye. Yes, bye. Just waiting for a little moment, in case people are still catching up, but I think this is probably a fine place to end it.